Okay, we're live, I think. I'd assume so. Yeah, YouTube says I'm live now. Cool. Alright, let's get to it. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be continuing our animation of Gin, Arcanum Weaver, which is Magic the Gathering card that I want to make a video on. And the animation, boy oh boy, I chose a extremely goddamn difficult card to animate. So we're just gonna continue with this, and hopefully by the end of the night we'll have something that looks a whole lot more complete. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch screens. This is where we left off last night. We got him weaving the Arcanum energy, which is pretty sick. I've got some caffeine with me, which is nice and handy to stay awake for the next couple hours. Caffeine lasts about 4 hours, I find. So, we got this. I might need to close and restart the program. I just kind of left it open since last night. Oh, also? There we go. That's where it's supposed to be looping. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool. So tonight we need to animate the beams coming from the fingers, and we also need to add the background beams, and we need to animate the foreground beams. So a whole lot of work with the auras to do tonight. I think the background won't be too difficult. It's just going to be making a whole bunch of different strokes, and then giving them different turbulent displace modifiers, which should be pretty fun. So let's go ahead and do that. Yo, what's up, Holly? How's it going? I just hid the chat because I didn't want to cover things up, but now you're talking. So we're just gonna continue working on this. I think we're gonna. I'm pretty scared of animating the thingy, like beams. Is that what you would call it? I don't know. That's what I would call it, I guess. The thingy beams. So I'm just gonna work on the background, I think, right now. How was your Thursday, Holly? What kind of shenanigans did you get up to? And how are you feeling? I saw your tweet last night. Okay. I always have like this moment before I actually accomplish anything in an animation or something I'm working on where I just sit there and stare at it for a bit and try to think, God damn it, how do I want to do this? So I think we just go for it. And eventually we'll take all of these background pieces and we'll put them in their own composition. Spent your day in bed dying? Are you on your deathbed? Do I need to fly out to Scotland to say my goodbyes? So anyway, let's just get started. We'll handle this the same way we've handled everything else. To work on the background, we don't really need the foreground stuff to be showing. Just to speed up playback, I think. So we'll go ahead and turn that stuff off. We don't need this shape layer anymore. Go ahead and save. Haven't saved in a minute. We want to put the camera in front of everything. This is a good opportunity to organize stuff. Okay, so these are beams. That's all the energy stuff. That's energy stuff. So now we just have this guy doing weird arm motions. Hell yeah. Looks like he's playing air guitar. Okay, so now we want to add the background stuff. And for that, let's just trace. So first one, we need to put a decent amount of it behind him because we're going to get some parallax. So we'll just make a brand new solid layer and we'll call this background aura 1. Gotta start somewhere. And we'll do an effect trap code, 3D stroke, because that's been pretty good to us so far. And here we will just trace. Whoever said tracing was cheating. And we'll go ahead and continue this stroke into the distance. Just so if the camera pans that far or looks that direction, it won't just randomly cut off. Cool. That looks about right in terms of shape. So we'll make the background bigger stroke. Then we'll do a turbulent displace that will animate. Then we'll do the smaller stroke. And then we'll do a turbulent displace on top of all of it. I think that'll look pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and put this in the background here. This is gonna go behind everything, huh? Except for the background. Okay, so this needs to go right there. Looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the reference down here where we can easily access it. And we just kind of want to match the color. So we'll grab, which means I think we just want this to be like a light purple kind of deal, which we can actually bring up the reference and just color pick it like so. The hell? Okay, there are 3 messages on here, but only 2 messages in the YouTube chat. What the flip? Live chat. Oh, grave, skull. Oh, you're dead. No, I missed that message. I didn't get to say goodbye. That's upsetting. Okay, so now this is the central stroke. So we're gonna duplicate this, set it to add. Set it to screen. Whoops. And then we're gonna do the background one thicker. Like so. More saturated. More pink. Again, it doesn't have to match the reference perfectly. We can feather it maybe just a teensy bit. We will set a thickness curve. We'll just like that did not look great. Is that the okay, that's the reset. So we'll start here. We'll just move our mouse to make some nice lumps, I guess. And then we'll smooth it. Let that do its thing. I clicked smooth like a billion times there, which is a lot more than a million. Then we just up the overall thickness, and now we get like some nice varied thickness over the course of the path. We can even add some more lumps. Just so long as the beginning and ending match, right? No, it doesn't actually matter if the beginning and ending match. I just kind of realized that. Because this isn't like a closed circle or anything. Did almost die earlier. Coughed while eating an Oreo? Did you have to do like the Heimlich maneuver? Eek. Please don't die. I know at least one person would be sad if you died. That's me. Probably more than one, honestly. Oreo literally came out of your nose. That's the worst. Have you ever like spat water or milk out of your nose before because you laughed or something? I've done that. Okay, so now we can do effect, distort. Oh, lost my place there for a second. Turbulent displace. Why does it have like a little warning there? May slow down preview as it's not optimized for multi-frame. Who gives a fuck? I got a beast of a machine. Not a good time. At least now you have a fun story, if you want to call it that. Let's do layer solid settings, and let's just give it like a buffer here. Let's just say like 1600 by 1300. Just so we don't get any weird warping at the edges. Because it's doing the turbulent displace based on the frame. Since this isn't actually a 3D layer, it's acting like a 3D layer because the effect is 3D. So if we were like to take this layer and move it, you can see it just sort of cuts off there at the edge of the layer. And that's just how it be sometimes. Okay, so let's bring up our reference again. Let's bring up our aura thing. Make sure that the mask matches again. Looks good. Hello? Well, that's not good. Interesting. Oh, we had to move it some. I don't know why that's acting the way it is, but it is acting that way. That's a little bit odd. Okay, so we got this working pretty well. The little offset here. So we can duplicate that. And we can use an expression to say, set this to time. So you can set the evolution to time. And that's going really slowly, so we're just going to multiply time. We'll just say time times 100. Now it should, yeah, look at that warp. That's sick. The offset is going. We actually want it to hit 360, like right here, so it's a perfect loop. So what's the current time? Let's say frame. I don't know After Effects expressions that well, so we'll do some creative Googling. A expression time. Okay, so this is in seconds. So we just multiply it by 24 to get 24 frames per second. That'll give us the current frame, I believe. Yeah, so we just say time times 24, since this is a 24 frames per second animation. So now if we say go to 24, it should be, yeah, frame 24. Cool. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. It gives us the exact frame that we're on in terms of degrees. Math. Hooray. So then we want to say 360 divided by 80, where this ends, which will be 4.5. So we'll take this and just multiply it by 4.5. And now it should loop seamlessly. And I was wrong. Okay, let's turn off the expression. Why is 1 different? What the frick, man? I thought the whole point of this was that it loops. Oh, cycle. There we go. Yeah, okay. I just had to check a little box. So now if we turn our expression back on, it should loop seamlessly. Cool. Except, let's say 360 divided by 81. What are we, 4.444? That way there won't be like a duplicate frame. So if we go to frame 80 and then we go back to frame 0, it will change a little bit, so it'll be more nice. It'll loop more seamlessly. So we've got that moving, and then we do the same thing for the whole thing. So for turbulent displace 2, do the exact same thing. Time times 24. Put that in parentheses because of our order of operations. Pretty cool. I agree. It's neat that you can control animation just with some math. It saves a whole lot of effort. And then times 4.444444. Aha. And then we can change the seed for this one. So the seed, this is turbulent displacement is based on randomness, like random noise. So if you change the seed, it gives you a different noise. I think there's a seed control somewhere on here. Ooh, we could twist. Do the twist. Now I probably want this to be more subtle, so we'll just turn this down to 7, turn this down to 7, turn this down to 150. I guess we don't have a seed option. Oh, we need to set this one to cycle. So you can sort of see how by mixing multiple layers of this, we can come up with something that looks pretty cool. Just lots and lots of layers of these. And then if we just duplicate this layer and modify the path, we can make a whole bunch of different auras. And then in terms of layers for this, all we have to do is duplicate more layers. So if we want this to be even more layered, we could duplicate this, for instance. Set this one to be a different curve setup. So we could be like... Smooth that out because it looks robotic. Turn this thickness up to 75. Set it to screen. And then just change the opacity down to like 55. And now for this turbulent displace, we can just change the offset of it. And now we've got 3 little strands on this one strand. Why is it not animating? There we go. And then if we want the bulges to bulge, we can, here, let's make this match. About match, doesn't have to be perfect. We can loop it, and then we can change the offset. So then the bulges will animate through the stroke if I'm animating the right one. Doesn't look like I'm animating the right one though. No, it is the right one. Oh, maybe offset needs to be 100. Always want those bulges to bulge. That is correct. I don't know why the offset's not doing anything. Oh, I see. Right now it's over a path. We need to follow the offset. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Except we just need it to offset to 1. Nope. I wish I had like a tooltip. Oh, it's definitely to 100 then. Hey. Now this should be cyclic. I don't know why that's not cyclic, honestly. Because it should be. Looks like a little caterpillar. Here, let's change the transform for this just so we can see what's happening. There's the whole curve. So it's not looping like it's supposed to. This is problematic. Repeater? No, repeater just makes duplicates of the curve, which is cool. Yeah, this is not looping. It is ignoring my loop command. So I don't know if this is a bug or what. Stroke sequentially. Squiggle outline. I think maybe the loop only works. Let's do some Google research. Trap code 3D stroke. Loop not working. Maybe I just need to make it a closed loop and then it will loop. Let's try that. Wow, this 3D stroke is just not doing anything now. Is it broken? Ooh. Oh, I see. Okay, so it has to be a closed loop for loop to work. That's interesting. Okay, so let's take these bulges. Let's reset it. And then we'll just make it more subtle. I said more subtle. Wow, I'm not very bright. Bam. We can take this down to like 65, I think. Down to like 70, I think. This is such an unintuitive way to modify a curve, but this should work now. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Let's just reset this and give it like one lump. That way it all appears though it's moving slower because there's less to move throughout. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. So then our original background stroke. We can make the opposite. Go down. Can't wait to see this when it's done. Me too, you know? I appreciate that. So then, if we offset this one, now those sort of do the opposite of each other. Which will look cool. Then all we gotta do is lower the transparency on these to match the reference. These are like super subtle in the backdrop. So you can lower the transparency down to like 50. Lower this transparency down to like 35. Lower this transparency down to like 50. And then we can modify the thickness of some of these as well. And take this down to like 30. Just to get the other stroke more visible. And that'll sort of create that. These ones I feel like are going to be a little bit more difficult. I think we're going to need multiple layers to create the rest of these. Look, it's made up of like I see like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 separate strokes. What's up, Ash? How's it going? I'm animating a magic card for a video I want to make. I chose like the most difficult possible one to animate too, which was not the brightest move in the world of doing Gin, Arcanum Weaver. So right now I'm trying to work on the backdrop, and I'm using this Trapcode 3D stroke tool, which is really cool, but I've never used it before. So I'm learning as I go. But so far, I think the general idea is working. It's just going to be a whole lot of different layers and overlaying. Might also be easy just to like... Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to do one of these more complicated ones, and then we'll see what happens. And if it goes poorly, I'll rethink the methodology behind it. How was your day, though? How's life? You love Trapcode, but haven't used it much either. I've used Particular like a whole lot. That's my bread and butter. But 3D Stroke I've never really used. But it's really, really cool, I've found. So it gives you all these options. You can take like, let's just show you on a new composition. This is super, super sick. You can create like a new solid. You can draw whatever you want. Now you have a 3D path, but then it gets better because this is actually like it treats it like an actual like 3D tube, which is sick. You can add like a new camera. And the layer's not 3D, but the effect is 3D, which is always odd to me. Just like Particular. So you can take it and like rotate it around in 3D space and stuff. Super useful. Dick path. Ready for After Effects to give you traditional cell animation already? You can do that in Blender. What do you use? I know you're a 2D animator. You showed me your reel. What is your tool of choice? I'm actually curious about the answer on that. I haven't done a lot of 2D animation. I took the intro to 2D animation class at SCAD and was like, this is not for me. Okay, number next. I think I'm gonna do this all on separate layers. I'm gonna end up with like 3 trillion layers. I also need all of these to be further back in 3D space for the parallax. For hand-drawn stuff, use Toon Boom. Don't do it often though. I don't even know what you do like at the company you work for. I've just seen like your personal reel. Yeah, I went to school for visual effects though. I'm a Blender person. I actually modeled I just made this the other day. I modeled my new overlay elements. Hey, I'm in Blender. And I took my old BRB screen and just screenshotted the animation of it. Okay. Move this down. Reference. Oh, we probably want this solid to be a little bit bigger since we're going to do some parallax with it. Effect layer. Although this does affect the 3D stroke setting apparently. Use 600 by like 1300. Motion graphics for corporate companies. That's okay. I do animated promotional videos for automation equipment. It's not the most exciting work in the world, but it pays the bills really well. And to me, that is what is important in a job. I feel like no matter who you work for, work is work is work is work is work. As long as you're working towards someone else's vision. Much rather work towards my own vision. Close enough. And I'm just gonna make like a big ass loop so we can use the loop tool of it and then shrink and grow it over time. Cool, looks good to me. Undo effect, trap code, 3D stroke. The offset is wrong because the layer isn't sized to the composition anymore, which is odd. I'm wondering if I should leave it at the composition size. Gonna have to check out my videos. All the other stuff on this channel is like game development stuff. The actual YouTube channel that has any sort of tutorials. Oh shit, this was so cool. They released the trailer for Crimson Vow, which is the new Magic set today. Even if you're not into Magic, we're gonna watch this. I forgot I wanted to show this on stream. This is so cool. Oh, I should probably set the audio so you can actually hear it. These trailers are so well done these days. That just shows how much money Hasbro is making. They are making bank. No, wait, this was correct. This is like Blizzard level cinematics.
I've dreamt of this day for so long. I lived every moment over and over. I imagined every tiny detail, but even my plans fell short of how sweet this day would be.
It's the wardrobe, the lighting, it's also perfect.
I can finally say, I will have everything I deserve. I've said my vows before you all. What's his is now mine. So, let us toast. Noble houses of Innistrad, raise your glass. Not to a blushing bride. But to a queen. To power. To dominion over the endless night. To me.
I just thought that was a really well done. And it was a really cool twist that like the bride and groom were cake toppers for the vampires. Pretty sick. So the pre-release for the new set is tomorrow. Anyway, what was I looking up? I forgot. Oh, right. Yeah. So my other YouTube channel, which actually has tutorials and shit on it. Has like a lot of Blender tutorials and shit. Which Blender surprisingly actually has, if you're looking for free software to do like cell animation, Blender has like surprisingly good 2D animation tools. And then you can mix the 2D animation with 3D animation. Or you can like make 3D elements and then trace those to make like animated backgrounds and stuff. Has a lot of really cool tools for that. That's not a flattering frame to stop on. Yeah, so I don't know what the proper protocol is gonna be here. in terms of, I'm probably gonna regret not making the solid the right size later. Like I'm making, this is so odd to me. Gotta really think about this. Because what's not intuitive about this, and what the thing that I'm sort of like going back and forth on, I guess I should just keep marching forward and then see what happens. The cool thing about software is the ability to always hit Control Z, but I'm just wondering if it's going to cause issues later. Let's bring the reference up, and we want it to be like a pale green. So if we can make it a little bit brighter and then change the transparency so we get detail through it later. Set the transparency down to like 65 probably. Until you run out of Control Z's. I think you can change the amount you have. I'm not actually sure. I'm curious now. General. This is going great. Good job, Adobe. Very robust software. I feel like it's not like an animating session with After Effects unless you crash at least once. Autosave is obnoxious. Media and disk cache. Maybe it's a Photoshop thing. Yeah, so the what was I gonna say? I think we want to feather this a little bit so it looks a little bit more painterly. Again, this is going to be on a small card on a 1920 by 1080 composition, so I'm not like super worried about it matching 100%. This is like the whole argument of just blur it to make it look more realistic in visual effects. It's gonna be small, nobody's gonna notice. They're gonna be like, damn, that looks neat. Okay, so this will be green 1. And we want this to match up. Which this is why I was worried about making the layer bigger. Because the path doesn't match anymore. We can just move it over until it does match. And then hopefully After Effects will have me. And it doesn't matter if it matches up in the final thing as long as there's enough detail in the background. So we can duplicate this. We can put it behind. Up the thickness. Make it a thick boy. Change the thickness curve. I really hate this interface. It's the same way in like everything where they have that. This looks like the guy from What We Do in the Shadow. That's such a good show. When does the next season come out? That's soon, right? Or did that already come out? Number of seasons 3. Third season premiered September. I think I haven't seen that yet. I need to catch up. Oh, it's already done. Damn. How did I miss that? That's upsetting. I guess I have stuff to watch now. Yeah, I'm in like the weird in-between period for Halloween, and then during December, I make it a goal of mine to watch like one really shitty Hallmark Christmas movie every single night. Only seen the movie, but gotta watch. I haven't seen the movie. I've only seen the show. We're opposites. We're opposite twinsies. So we can animate that. And if we offset it here, go to 81, set it to 100, then it should loop seamlessly. It does. I don't know why it flickers for a second. But that's not really my problem. I guess it is my problem later. I can turn the opacity down to like 30. I think we just have to make lots and lots of layers, right? Oh yeah, so I also have like the stuff in the front that's happening. But I turned it off while I was working on the background. Because it's chunky. And the finger stuff hasn't been animated yet. I really, like, in terms of wanting to animate a magic card, I really chose a fucking god-awful difficult one to do first. Hey. So other things I'm gonna have to do are animate the hair, finish up the background, and I feel like I should add like some puppet transformations to his shoulders so he doesn't look so stiff. Pretty happy with the centerpiece though. It looks pretty cool. And he's got animated fingies. Without the paths, it looks like he's playing air guitar. Or air harp. This is sick. Thank you. It'll get there eventually. The next one I want to do, which should be a hell of a lot easier to animate, I want to do Emil the Blessed. Which looks like that. It's the unicorn. And the really cool thing about Magic is you can usually find like high-res art of almost any card you want. See if you can get Richmond in here. I'd appreciate that. I made this new YouTube channel because whenever I streamed other stuff on my main YouTube channel, I'd get a bunch of kids asking me if I remember Unspeakable. Looks something like. Because back when I used to stream Fortnite, Unspeakable came into my chat and said he'd donate $500 if I killed someone. I got it. He donated $500 when I killed someone. It was really cool. But I was tired of people asking me to play Fortnite. So I made this channel just where I can focus on like animation projects and stuff. But not as broad of an appeal as apparently playing Fortnite to the demographic that I'd been targeting. I think once we get all of the pieces of the aura in place, this will look really cool. So I've also been on like a huge hiatus this year. Just haven't really streamed or made content. Just been kind of chilling. Which has been amazing for mental health, for the record. Got too caught up in the numbers. Cool, so we can duplicate this. Change the thickness to like 35. And then move it around some. change the transparency down to 25. And then I think like all of these overlapping, we can change the shape of this one as well. Like all of these overlapping in various ways, I think will create a really cool looking aura kind of effect. You can also add like a glow on top of all of it. I have all of like the best After Effects plugins. I've spent so much money on After Effects plugins over the years. They're so much fun. There's one that I really like that you might find useful. I mean, maybe not for what you do, but it's a plugin called Lockdown. It's saved my ass so many times. It allows you to track surfaces, like warping surfaces. And it works really well. So this is one of my favorite plugins ever. And then another one that I've been using a lot lately, which I'm actually using on this project some, is Deep Glow. It's like After Effects has its regular glow, but Deep Glow just looks really nice. It has a really good fall off. Looks more natural. Okay, how many layers do we have to do here? We're getting there. Let's just add like a few more like small strands, I guess. So what it looks like to me, this right here, it looks like one aura strand that's sort of like overlapping and folding on itself, almost like a cloth simulation. But simulating that with cloth seems like it would be really hard. So we're trying to fake it. Duplicate that. Dropped it because you didn't have it in you to do art outside of work anymore. That's fair. I'm fortunate to have a job that's just like extremely chill. I just kind of choose my own hours and they just leave me alone as long as I get my work done. And my end goal in life is to just like work for myself, period, no matter what. Don't care what it is, I just want to work for myself. Oh, hey. Yeah, if we overlap this more, it's looking cool. Working for other people is very draining, no matter what you're doing, I feel. And like, I know a lot of people who work for big companies like Disney and Whaddup and DreamWorks, and they fucking hate it. They hate it. It's apparently miserable. It's just not a fun industry to work in. Bigger the company, the worse it seems. Oh yeah, I think that's true too. Say like 35 for this one. Now the pain in the ass here, I think, is gonna be matching all of this up in 3D space, because I need to move these further back in 3D space. And like a lot of places you work, like everything is so specialized that just seems extremely boring to like be like a belly fat specialist in an animated movie, and that's all you do all day, every day, is animate belly fat. Like, that just doesn't sound fun to me. Okay, so for these smaller ones, I think we'll do a turbulent displace. Because animating the thickness of those, I think, would look odd. Some TV animators getting paid $15 an hour? Holy shit. Like, how do you pay back your student debt if you're only making $15 an hour? What the fuck? That's ridiculous. Like, fast food workers should be making $15 an hour or more. Like, if you went to school and paid a fuck ton of money and have like a legitimate like talent and skill to make this really cool art, you should be getting paid a lot more than that. Ooh, there we go. Could go work at Walmart for that. Do they actually pay that much at Walmart? I feel like Georgia has like shit pay compared to other states, and the US has shit pay compared to other countries. Okay, so then we just set the evolution to 1 at 81, because that's where we're looping. And I think the more pieces we overlap, the cooler it'll look. Target or Costco? Oh yeah, Target's fancy. They'll probably pay you like 6 figures to restock those shelves. It's Target. I just love the argument, like, well, if they're making $15, if they get to make $15 an hour doing that, I'm making $15 an hour. It's like, well, dude, you're being underpaid. Holy shit, wake up. This should be common sense. I probably shouldn't get political on a live stream. I don't know. I'm fortunate. I have a job that pays pretty decently. I'm single. I live alone. I can spend my money on what I want because I don't have to take care of like kids or anything. That's the other thing. Like, kids are so expensive apparently. My sister has like a son and a daughter. I have like a really cute little niece and nephew. I'll show you pictures. And kids are just so expensive. So that's my niece and nephew. They're adorable. Oh. I went down to Universal for Halloween Horror Nights this year, and I bought them souvenirs. They're super cute. I'm supposed to go to my sister's house to take family pictures of them tomorrow. No, it's Saturday. It's not Friday yet. Why does it feel like Friday? Do you have any family? Like siblings or nieces or nephews or anything? We'll set the opacity down to 45 maybe? I just feel like this one doesn't feel quite right. We'll just make this one a lot quieter. No siblings, just a dog. Living the dream. Richmond, what's up? How's life? I'm animating a magic card. Look, he's got little animated thingies. Looks like he's playing air guitar. I chose the worst magic card to start with for doing these. Fortunately, there's like glowy shit in front of him, but it was really hard to paint behind that. Which I have, unfortunate. I don't actually use it that much. I should use it more than I do. I use it as a second monitor because I needed a 120 hertz monitor for my main monitor. But I have like a 27-inch Cintiq as my secondary monitor. So the painting out wasn't too bad, but it was just frustrating trying to figure out what goes behind that. Yeah, I animate for a living. I'm a visual effects artist. Oh, I have like I'm not gonna tell you to follow. I'll just show you on Instagram. I hate being one of those obnoxious people that's like, hit that subscribe button. I'll just show you on Instagram. I have like a little fish mascot. Is this it? Nope, that's from my game. Nope, that's Stonks. Is it? Oh yeah, this is my little like subscriber animation. If people like follow the channel. And we've got, nope, that's my story time stinger transition. Okay, animating a book was a total bitch. I would never recommend animating a book ever again. Where's the fun one? Oh, that's Stonks again. There's one little thing. Oh, here we go. This was to encourage people to follow the Twitch stream when I streamed on Twitch. I was pretty happy with that one. Please post the stuff on Discord. I will. Oh, and you switched to YouTube? I started on YouTube. You follow me on Insta? No. Now I feel like I'm self-promoing. I'm like, follow me. Do it. Kaito, this is fire. Thank you. We're getting there. I got a long way left to go. The next cards I animate should be a hell of a lot easier than this one. I chose a banger for the first one. I also need to, I think before I forget, I should go ahead and move these back in 3D space. So this is the top view of my scene, and things need to be offset in 3D space. I'll show you why. Because the card is going to animate on screen, then animate off screen. So within the realm or the window of the card, there's going to be a little bit of parallax. So when I move the camera around, like, things will, it's hard to tell right now, but things will have some parallax to them. So the card will look 3D. That's the end goal. And then the future cards that I do, I'm going to probably do 3D projection in Blender instead of doing this. This one just had to be animated a very specific way, but there's some other cool ones I want to do. Like, I want to make a new YouTube channel and do Magic the Gathering content because there aren't that many good there are a lot of good creators that do Magic content, but not a lot of high production value Magic content. So I figured I could corner that market. But there's one that I really want to do, which is this. I think that's gorgeous, which you can't see because the chat's covering it up. So I want to like do a 3D projection of this. I think that would be really fun. This is for my own video that I want to make. I made a Magic the Gathering deck that I call the Communist Manifesto, and it's an absolute bitch to play against. So I want to make like a deck list video. I'll show you the goal. Even if you don't play Magic, it might make sense. So my favorite card in Magic is Humility, which has every single creature on the field loses all of their abilities and just has 1 attack and 1 defense. So that forces everybody to play on the same playing field, which is absolutely hilarious to me. Then the win condition is not a win condition. This is why the deck is called the Communist Manifesto. Because, oh, you play Magic, that's right. Yeah, so the win con is Divine Intervention, which says put 2 counters on it, remove a counter at the beginning of your turn, and whenever you remove the last counter, the game just ends in a draw instantly, no matter what. It just makes everybody at the table feel super gross. I find hilarious. And then I also run Hex Parasite. Which lets you remove counters from things. So I can just reanimate Divine Intervention from the graveyard using Gen, and then Hex Parasite it to end the game in a draw instantly. You might appreciate my collection. I've been collecting reserve list stuff over the past year. So I've got like one of each of the revised duels. And then some other fun stuff. Yeah, I play exclusively Commander. Although I'm going to the pre-release for the new set tomorrow. Did you see the trailer for that? It's super sick. It is super sick. You've arrived. What's up, Damon? How's it going? I'm animating tonight. This is coming along, kind of. I think we just need more layers to make the aura look cooler. Big baller. I'm just single, live alone, and like filling the empty void inside my heart with possessions. Watch the Eternals yet? I have not. I don't really have an interest in watching it though. I'll watch it when it's on D+. I think if we add like a little bit of glow to it. Yeah, oh, let me show the trailer again. It's really good. I was showing it to Ash earlier. Like, okay, so even if you know nothing about Magic, like just the wardrobe, the lighting, the sets, the world building, it's so good. Is this on the Magic channel? Yes, it is.
I lived every moment over and over. I imagined every tiny detail. But
like this is like Blizzard level cinematics. Hasbro must be rolling in it.
This day would be. Now that we are here at last, I can finally say, I will have everything I deserve. I've said my vows before you all. What's his is now mine. So, let us toast. Noble houses of Innistrad, raise your glass. Not to a blushing bride. But to a queen. To power. To dominion over the endless night. To me.
That's how you're trying to get to the altar? I just love the twist at the end where the bride and the groom are like the cake toppers for vampires. That's hilarious. This is some next level Blizzard level bullshit. Magic's been like super stepping their game up. Like, yeah, that's Olivia. My favorite one they've ever done still is the War of the Spark trailer. This one is like, just the facial expressions are so good. Like, I don't know if they're doing mocap for it or what, but the faces are so good. This was back for War of the Spark. I'll probably get claimed for this music.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
That's the Linkin Park cover.
In the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
So like, even if you don't play Magic, that's cool as shit. And then there's one more, and then I'll get back to work, I promise. Like, it's so good. Yeah, the acting is super good. They must mocap that. It's amazing. And then obviously they probably tweak it afterwards, but like, this one's also really good. This one makes you feel for a cookie. But the War of the Spark one is my favorite one they've done. Riot Games does good cinematics too. This one's kind of like Shrek, except better lighting and animation, because Shrek is old.
Just too good to be true. Can't take
I'm 100% going to YouTube jail for the music.
You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
It's the only thing that can make you have like feelings for a cookie. Let's see. You said the Warriors. So you were asking earlier, Ash, why I switched from Twitch to YouTube. There's a lot of reasons, but like mostly I'm just more comfortable on YouTube, but also just like guaranteed transcoding. You can rewind YouTube streams. You can't rewind Twitch streams. Other reasons. In general, Twitch has been going kind of downhill in terms of like the length of their ad breaks, how they're just randomly banning people, all the DMCA issues. I don't know. I just felt like it was a good time to go hang out on YouTube. Plus, I started on YouTube, like originally, so I'm kind of comfortable there. Damn.
As a child, you would wait and watch
Yes.
from far away.
That face is really well done.
As a child, you would wait and watch from far away. You always knew that you'd be the one that would find love.
I know nothing about League of Legends. The game makes zero sense to me. I've tried to play it before, and I've tried to play Dota as well. Very, very difficult for me. Oh god. If I wasn't ending up in YouTube jail before, I definitely am now. For the music. Oh, that was a cool effect. If only the gameplay looked like this.
From the
Dude, that has me hyped to like play some League of Legends, and then I'll log in and be like, what is this? My problem with I just don't understand MOBAs. MOBAs don't click with me. I will probably watch the Netflix show after seeing this though. That was sick. Had great art. Man, I feel so I feel like going from that to working on like my Dinky Magic card animation. I'm so underwhelming now. Same for you. They do have pretty art. Damn. Netflix show is really good. How many episodes is it? Guess what, guys? Now we're watching now we're watching League of Legends on stream. That'll put me in YouTube jail. Arcane. There are 9 episodes. Oh, shit, the episodes aren't available yet. Never understood the hype for MOBAs. Like, they have such a high skill ceiling, which makes them interesting to play, I think, if you're into that sort of gameplay. They're just not, like... I feel like an esport needs to be interesting to play, but also interesting to watch, which I think is where, like, League and Dota fall short for me. Is like if you have no idea what's going on in that game, it is not a good spectator sport at all. While if you're watching something like I'm gonna get some groans here. If you're watching something like Fortnite, for instance, like even if you don't know what's going on, the gameplay for that is still really exciting to watch. They're releasing more weekly. Speaking of weekly releases, has anybody caught up with there's only been 1 episode so far, but is anybody watching the new Dexter series? Because that's been pretty good. I mean, the first episode was good. You. That's fair. Okay, but like... honestly, Fortnite is hard to watch. Maybe, yeah. Maybe it's just because I'm into it, like, that it makes sense to me, which I guess is probably the same for League, for people that are into that. Yeah, that's fair. I never really thought about it like that. I was like, this is so fucking hyped to watch, but then I guess if somebody doesn't know what they're watching... It's like, this is my friend who plays Fortnite. Not that guy. This is the guy that he's dunking on. Oh, wow. YouTube is not loading. Just like all of the building and editing. It's so fast paced. It's like interesting. League's gotten better about explaining what's going on and they ain't gotta go. Thanks for hanging out, Richmond. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good night. I guess like to somebody who doesn't know what's going on, it feels like really spastic. Which kind of makes sense. It's probably what somebody who doesn't play Fortnite watching this probably feels the same as I do watching League. That's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna get back to work now. I got a lot to get done here. But first I'm gonna use the restroom. About to chill out with some ooblets tonight. Have a good one, Ash. Thanks for stopping by. Have fun with the ooblets. I still need to check that game out at some point. You were in esports and the Fortnite players were always the worst to manage. In what way? Were they just like really immature? Out of curiosity. I think if we take this... That's right, I wanted to push these. I forgot where we left off. I need to push these back in 3D space so we get some of that nice parallax action. Okay, so we should be able to just push it back. Yeah, there we go. Put this like maybe at like 450. Let's just put it at an even 500. That'll look fine. And then we need to change all of these. I should have done this from the get-go if I was a smart person, but I never claimed to be a smart person. I'm gonna claim to be a smart person, but I feel like it doesn't add up after I just made this fatal error. Okay, background aura 1. Take this, push it back about like 350 probably. Just so we get some differences in depth here for the auras. It'll look cool if we have a bunch of different depths. About 350. And then we'll have to move the stroke up, but since all of this is set on the same one, that doesn't really matter. Huh. Maybe using the same stroke, like the same layer, is the smart play. I feel like maybe it is. I think we redo the green one and then just offset the transforms a bit of each 3D stroke instance using the same path, and I think that'll save a lot of time. And then we can take the entire background and add some nice glow using like an adjustment layer. Anyway, about 350. And we'll change the thickness of this front one as well to about 6, 7. And then the opacity leads. You bought a copy of After Effects a long time ago, but man, that program is so complicated. It's gotten a lot more user-friendly over the years. Back when I started using it, it looked way different. But if you're looking for some really good After Effects tutorials, videocopilot.net has some really good ones. But back when I started using After Effects back in high school, it looked like this. where like everything was in its own separate floating window, and it was really easy to get everything super disorganized, and everything was overlaying, and it was just an absolute nightmare, pain in the ass. Would not recommend. Nowadays the interface is pretty beautiful. Like Adobe really did a good job. Plus there's like a billion different plugins you got to figure out if you're learning After Effects. Like I've spent probably thousands of dollars on After Effects plugins over the years. Okay, let's make like one more green path. I think we're gonna redo the green though. Maybe. No, we'll keep it like this, and then we'll try an experiment on the next one. I just feel like we need more layers. More and more layers. They also need to be feathered, I think. So like the thickest backmost one, I feel like needs some feathering on it so it doesn't feel so flat. And then we'll make this one even thicker, like a 75 or an 85. And then we'll take this one and make it thicker, like a 45. Up the feathering on this one to like a decent amount, and then we can change the opacity down to like 17. I think that's already looking better. Then we can take these ones and add a nice deep glow. And as long as it looks like it's emitting light, I think it'll look cooler. Yeah, so if we had like one more strip here, and then we take some of these and change their colors a little bit, so like maybe a little bit more green, a little bit more saturated. I think that's starting to look really cool. Maybe the glow is a little bit too intense, so we can just take the entire layer and change the transparency to like 45. And then the secondary one, make even less transparent, or less opaque, like 15 or something. I think that's starting to look a lot nicer. And then we'll move these around a little bit too, so we get more overlapping colors. And then it'll look sort of painterly, which is cool. Yeah, being able to manipulate the individual paths is too valuable to put all of these on the same layer, I think. Alright, now let's look at our reference. Man, ours is just so much thicker. I think he just has, there's just so many more layers to this. Here, let's offset these some. And then change the feathering. It's not perfect, but it's also not bad. It doesn't need to be 100% perfect match. This can be skinnier though. I got a text message. Okay, let's try to get this done. It's looking like really transparent purple. So we'll try to accomplish this all with one path. And just see what we can come up with. Just for science, you know? Why the fuck not? So we'll call this one BG or pink. Oh, we'll just say pink 002 001. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and trace. So we'll say like we got one path. Let's just like try to get like the gist of this path. Like so. Make it a loop so we can animate like we've been doing. Just in case there's stuff showing up on camera. So then we'll say effect, trap code, 3D stroke. And then let's try to replicate it. So for one, we need to set this back in 3D space. So we'll put this back to like 475 maybe. And then we'll move this stroke to sort of match up where it's supposed to be. Somewhere around like right there. We'll just match it with the reference. We just want to match the general shape. So something like that works pretty well, I think. And then we want to match the general color. So we'll just do like a nice pinkish purple. That looks about right. Maybe even more pale than that. And then we're going to mess with the opacity. And some of these are going to be more pale than others. We're just going to make multiple strokes using the same path. So this one will be thin. And we'll shift it around some in 3D space, and we'll duplicate that. We'll set this to screen. Mess with the thickness. Set it to feather. Wait, why did After Effects just crash? I wasn't even doing anything. Wow. I guess sometimes it be like that, you know? I wonder how much I lost. Fuck. We lost a good amount. Also, let's modify these green ones. So that they overlap. I think that'll look cooler. Well, shiver me timbers. Oh, okay, no. We didn't lose everything. We still have the original drawing of this. We just don't have the effect applied. Okay, that's not as bad as it could be, I guess. So let's go ahead and shift it back in 3D space. Like we said like 450, right? Is good enough, probably. You know what? We should try to just match it up using these controls. Yeah, there we go. Much easier. So let's make like the base of this. Save frequently as you'd think I would have learned by now as an After Effects user. Go ahead and feather this by like 25, by like 65. Change the opacity to like 25. Transfer mode is fine. So we can duplicate that, make a skinny boy, and set this transfer mode to screen. We can rotate it and then move it around. Make this one a little more pale. Maybe like 3.5. Duplicate it. Rotate it the other direction. So like maybe -7. And then move it around. Maybe 7's too much. Like maybe -3.5. Let's duplicate the thick boy. Thick. Oh shit, we can bend this stuff. That's pretty cool. Oh shit, I'm rotating this on the wrong axis. Okay, Epic Games, nobody asked you for that. Then let's take a look at the reference. Yeah, I can feel this. This is getting there. Like that? That looks pretty good. So this is doable. It's just layers upon layers upon layers. Alright, now let's work on the next one. You can say turquoise left. This is coming together. Cool, and then we can take this and offset the transform. So we'll set this one back. This needs to be in front of the pink. Let's say about like 260. And then we can move it around. This is working pretty well. The more you know. Like 3.5 maybe. Set this to like a nice turquoise, but kind of desaturated. Opacity like 35. Yeah, that seems about right. And duplicate that. Can rotate it. Maybe not quite that much. Set it to screen. Make it a slightly different thickness. Hell yeah. Duplicate it. Make this one nice and thick. Duplicate that. Make it like 15. Rotate it like -3. Really subtle. Doesn't need to be a whole lot because we can just get the overlap effect using transform. Let's turn off the reference. This is coming together. Hell yeah. We're gonna have to animate all these, but it's actually coming together. It's good to know that we can basically put all the paths on the same layer. I don't like how that flickering is a bug. That's the kind of aura animation we want though. That's working out really well. All right, well, good progress in terms of figuring out how to handle this. And then I'll come back either later this weekend or next week. I'm gonna end right now because I'm supposed to go play games with a friend. But this definitely is headed in the right direction, which is good to know. So we just gotta add more and more pieces and paths. And then it'll look super cool. Like, it's already starting to come together. Okay, the flicker. I don't know why it's flickering like that. That's not great. Yeah, this path is flickering too. Maybe it's just a buggy plugin. Let's see if we get the flicker if we purge. $92 gigs, Jesus. Let it do its thing. This is coming along. Okay, the flicker is still happening, but at a different time. It's definitely a bug in the plugin. I wonder if I need to like update the plugin or something. There was just a brand new version of After Effects. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with the direction this is taken. I'm going to end the stream right now, but thanks everybody for hanging out. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Kaito. Thank you, Richmond. Thank you, Damon. I hope y'all have a great night. Peace.